Malaysia is home to a variety of languages. Now, we're not just talking about Bahasa Melayu, Mandarin, and Tamil. We have more than just these languages. So, what other languages we have in Malaysia? Well, among the Chinese, we have Mandarin, we have Cantonese, Teochew, Hokkien, Hakka. Among the Indians, we have Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi, Tamil. And then among the races in Sabah and Sarawak, we have all sorts of beautiful languages like Iban, Dayak. But what I want to talk about today are the languages that we probably have never heard of because of them being spoken by minority groups in our country. So one of the languages would be Kristang. So Kristang is spoken by the Portuguese community in Malacca. So when the Portuguese came to Malacca in 1511, they brought with them the Portuguese of that particular era. So when the people stayed here on and on, the Portuguese in Malaysia evolved in one particular direction and it had some local influences. The Portuguese in Portugal, on the other hand, evolved in a separate direction. In other words, the Portuguese spoken in Malaysia is very unique and different. However, the group is pretty small. There are a lot of people who are no longer able to speak the language. It is only being spoken mostly by the older Portuguese people, and the language is, the language is on the verge of being endangered. However, recently there are efforts to actually make a special dictionary for the Portuguese language spoken in Malacca. And then, in certain parts of Selangor and Perak, there is a language called Bahasa Mandailing. So what is Bahasa Mandailing? It is spoken by the Mandailing people. The Mandailing people are people who descended from Sumatra, Indonesia. The most famous Mandailing people normally have Nasution or Lubis in their names. It is a very different language from Bahasa Melayu. It is not like Bahasa Jawa, and yeah, we don't have enough young people speaking this language. So when it comes to language, why is it that the new generation needs to learn language? Because languages can die. How can a language die? When the last speaker of a language dies, the language dies with him. And it becomes worrying when languages start to not be passed on to the next generation. For example, maybe the kids feel, it's not cool anymore, or maybe the families feel that it might be disadvantageous for the children to learn it. Language is important because it reflects our identity and it reflects our culture. So that leads to the next question that most people probably ask. Hey, Bahasa Melayu, we have to perkasakan Bahasa Malaysia. Bahasa Melayu terancam. Well, some people have that argument, but I like to argue saying that that's probably not the case. We have a lot of people speaking the language worldwide. In fact, recently on this channel, we had a Japanese guy speaking Bahasa Melayu, and then Bahasa Malaysia is still being studied actively in universities worldwide, in particular in Korea and Japan. They have dedicated programs of Bahasa Melayu. The language is not going to die that easily. Just as Hang Tuah said, takkan Melayu hilang di dunia. Of course, today, some people are concerned. You're borrowing new words. Some people, code switch. They speak multiple languages or rojak and all that. That's the thing about language. It evolves. Language is not static. When a language is static, it doesn't get used and it dies. That's what happened to Latin and Sanskrit, which are effectively dead languages, even though they're still studied today. Languages will change. And even Bahasa Melayu as it is not the same as it was 10 years ago.